You're listening to Kentucky Running, presented by John's Run Walk Shop in Lexington. Help others find this show by rating, reviewing, and subscribing in your podcast app. This episode is sponsored by Curex Insoles.
Hey runners, thanks for tuning in. My name is Matt Reno, and today on Kentucky Running, we're talking about a fantastic local organization known as DanceBlue. This is a student-run nonprofit at the University of Kentucky that has raised millions of dollars for the DanceBlue Kentucky Children's Hospital Hematology Oncology Clinic for many years. And they do it in a very fun way, a 24-hour, no sitting, no sleeping dance marathon. This year's marathon is happening on March 29th through 30th, and we at John's Run Walk Shop, along with HOKA, are supporting DanceBlue with your help. Here's the deal. From March 24th through the 30th, 10% of full-price HOKA sales up to $1,500 will be donated to DanceBlue. So if you need some new shoes, this is a perfect time to get them while supporting an amazing cause. We're going to learn all about DanceBlue in this episode. My guests are UK students Anneli White and Sammy Tate, both of whom are part of this year's DanceBlue committee. But first, let's learn a little bit about one of the HOKA shoes you might decide to buy during the fundraiser. Our tech rep, Derek Nabe, will be at our Chevy Chase store on March 25th, letting you try out the new Bondi 9, as well as the shoe we're going to learn about right now, the HOKA Skyflow.
The Skyflow is a unique shoe. I would say first and foremost, one of the coolest features about it is it's specialty only. So that means inevitably when one of the DanceBlue participants, one of the runners or walkers or just an everyday customer of the store falls in love with this style, with the cushion, the support, the structure, everything about it, they can only get it at run specialty stores. So a store like John's Run Walk Shop. This shoe will not be offered in Dick's Sporting Goods or in REI or in any of those other sales channels. HOKA is growing, and so we're trying to put the right products in the right place for the right customer. And so making sure that when we create a shoe that has plenty of cushion, plenty of support, that is able to handle a full marathon training block, that's like that sturdy of an option, that's supportive, that it's in the places where a customer who's looking for it is going to be shopping for it. I will say, I think compared to some of the other HOKA shoes in our lineup, the tongue has a gusset on it. Basically, it has these like two elastic bands that wrap up to each side of the tongue that sits on top of your foot, and then they wrap all the way down to the footbed. So it is very elastic and it's stretchy, but it holds your foot really snug at that midfoot. For some of HOKA's other styles that may predominantly cater to maybe a walker or someone who wears it every day for work, this is a style that has more of a performance fit to it. It sits a little bit more snug on the foot. Anybody out there that's felt like some of the HOKA shoes in the past have been a little bit bulky, like this is a good kind of breath of fresh air that has a slightly different fit to it.
How would it compare to the Clifton and the Bondi?
So the stack height sits in between the Clifton and the Bondi. If people are familiar with the Clifton and the Bondi, like both of them are the kind of that signature, softer, like marshmallowy, cushy foam that HOKA has, whereas the Skyflow has supercritical foam in the midsole. So it's a little bit bouncier, it's a little bit more responsive, it's got a little more pep in its step. And so I think that you find that shoe is going to deliver a little bit of a different experience underfoot when you do go run or walk in it. So talking about something that sets it apart from the Clifton and the Bondi is going to be just the general experience in the shoe. Whereas the stack height, the general weight and the amount of foam that's under your foot is fairly comparable to those two styles, but the experience you're going to get with it is going to be pretty different. Again, you can go get a Clifton and a Bondi anywhere and everywhere that sells HOKA product, whereas the Skyflow is going to be a little bit more of a limited item, that it's really only going to be offered in a place where sales associate that's at John's Run Walk is going to be a bit more knowledgeable about the product and be able to walk maybe that customer through the ins and outs and the nuances of a product like that. And that's why we want a style like this to live in our run specialty sales channel.
If you go to the blog at johnsrunwalkshop.com and search for Skyflow, we have several user-generated reviews of it. Some people in the Lexington area test out Skyflow. It was overwhelmingly positive. I'm looking at one right now from a guy named Cody Johnson. He's loved HOKA since the Clifton 4. He's running the Bondi, the Mach, the Rocket X2. He gave a really in-depth review. So I would recommend looking into that if you're thinking about the Skyflow. He said things like, every run in the Skyflow makes me feel like I'm gliding rather than running. I could definitely see somebody wearing these in a marathon if they don't want to buy a separate pair of shoes to race in. So Derek, any thoughts on what different types of runners are going to be drawn toward this shoe?
The Skyflow can kind of do it all. If you are a middle to front of the pack runner, this has a home in your training regimen. If you're a middle to back of the pack runner, this could easily be a wear on race day or to be doing those 20-mile long runs or things like that. If you're not even a runner and you want an everyday shoe, like the colors of it are pretty good. I have picked up a few pairs for myself and I wear them with jeans or with chinos and I do all of my store visits with them. I think that it's a point in time where HOKA is coming out with some of these styles that aren't overly big and bulky. And here's something that packs the punch of that support and that cushion, but it has a much sleeker look to it.
Great. Thank you, Derek, for giving us details on the Skyflow. And you'll be able to try it on March 25th when Derek is going to be at our store in Chevy Chase along with the Bondi, correct?
You better believe it. And as a last moment plug, I would love to make sure that everybody knows that if they did come in and were buying HOKAs on that day, you know what, I'm just going to say that week, we are going to have some gift with purchase in the store that I'm going to get that put together and shipped down to you before I arrive. For a little reward for anybody listening at the very end of this, that they just got let in on a little secret.
Today, my guests are Anneli White and Sammy Tate from UK DanceBlue. We're going to learn all about what DanceBlue does for the community. And by the way, as I mentioned earlier in the show, we're going to be having a DanceBlue fundraiser with HOKA. So make sure you take part in that. It's going to be a lot of fun on March 25th. You can actually try out some HOKA shoes. If you haven't tried out the new Bondi 9 or the Skyflow, you can go for a run or a walk in those. And your purchase of HOKA shoes that night will support DanceBlue. So let's get started. Can you start by telling us what DanceBlue is all about and what its mission is?
Absolutely. DanceBlue is a completely student-run organization at the University of Kentucky, and our goal is to raise funds and awareness for pediatric cancer in Kentucky. So we do that by recruiting students to participate in our annual marathon. Those students fundraise the entire school year, earning them a spot on the floor at our dance marathon, which happens each spring. It is a 24-hour, no sleeping, no sitting dance marathon. You are up on your feet the entire time, and the marathon concludes with this huge, pretty emotional moment of the total fundraising reveal, which last year broke $2 million, which was really huge for us. But DanceBlue does more than just the marathon. We host events throughout the entire school year. We have a 5K, we have a silent auction. Every single week of the school year, we have students in the Hematology Oncology Clinic at Kentucky Children's Hospital volunteering, playing with those kids, engaging with families. So it really is a full year-round experience, not just the 24-hour marathon.
Great. Most of our listeners are used to running 26.2 miles. The running marathon sounds easy compared to this.
Right.
Sammy, tell us how you got involved with DanceBlue.
I'm a senior now at Kentucky, so wrapping up my time involved with it, unfortunately, as a student. But my first 2 years, I had always heard about the marathon. My friends in different organizations were always a part of it, and I knew that the joy and the impact that it had on them. And then my third year, I was bound and determined to dance, get on the floor, do whatever I can do to be involved with the mission and the organization DanceBlue. So I became a team captain, had 13 guys on the floor for the first time ever through my organization, and it was truly life-changing. I knew that at the moment of the reveal that my feet hurt so bad, but my heart was so full because everything that we had done to raise the money and to make a positive impact on Kentucky Children's Hospital and furthering pediatric cancer research, it was all so worth it. And I applied for a few different coordinator positions after waking up from my 15-hour slumber of being up for 24 hours. And I just knew that I wanted to be involved in some capacity, whether that was on committee or a coordinator role or even just dancing again. So I applied. I interviewed for a few different positions, and I'm so thankful that I got a call from Anneli on a random Sunday. I'm truly so thankful to serve on the marketing committee as public relations coordinator because I get to share the mission of DanceBlue and I get to share everyone else's love that we put in all year and the work that we do for it. I get to run the DanceBlue podcast, D Behind the Scenes. Truly one of the most rewarding things I get to do. I get to edit the episodes and I get to talk with members of all committees and people in our community that love DanceBlue as much as me and Anneli do. And I don't know, I can't really put it into words how thankful I am to be a part of this organization and to be involved in this capacity.
That's great. And I'm glad you said you like editing because for a lot of people that seems like the most tedious part.
It is.
I like it too.
Yeah.
'Cause what a lot of people don't realize, we're going to talk for like a half hour here and then I'm going to spend a few hours editing.
Cutting it down, yes.
You've got to love that if you're going to do a podcast.
Yeah, I do hate hearing the sound of my own voice, so that part isn't as fun. But, I mean, editing is fun for me. I get to sit through and I get to cut out the parts that I wish people could hear just because it's always us messing up and having fun with it. Heck, there might be a bloopers episode coming soon.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
plenty.
approve.
I have at minimum 2 hours worth.
Too. Anneli, how did you get involved with DanceBlue?
Sure. So my story is kind of similar to Sammy's. I started as a team captain. So when I was a freshman at UK, growing up in Kentucky, I had always heard of DanceBlue. We have something called mini marathons, which are a miniature version of what we do at UK, but they're hosted by schools all across Kentucky. So preschools, elementary, middle, high, even a couple other college campuses as well. So my high school didn't have a mini marathon, but I knew about other ones in our area that had mini marathons, and it's just kind of a Kentucky thing. You know what DanceBlue is. So I came to UK. My sorority actually has a leadership position held for only a freshman can have it to be a team captain for our all freshman DanceBlue team. And I'm so grateful that they have that role. And it is pretty intentional to kind of ignite freshmen to get involved as early as they can. That was my story. So I stepped into the team captain role the fall of my freshman year, literally didn't know anything about the marathon. Like I knew what DanceBlue was. I didn't know what DanceBlue was. So I'm trying to lead a team of girls to raise, like $500 a piece, trying to motivate them and come up with fundraising ideas. And I didn't even really know what this was all for. But similar to Sammy, the last hour of the marathon, we have families come up and speak about their experience at the DanceBlue Clinic at Kentucky Children's Hospital. You have a couple of different doctors and nurses share their stories as well. And really just remembering what you go through, all of the pain and all of the aches for. It's for kids that don't get to choose those pains and aches. And that emotional moment of the grand total reveal is surreal. You only know what it feels like if you've been on your feet for 24 plus hours, running thin on emotions and steam, and then it's like, wow, the most rewarding thing you can be a part of. As soon as my first marathon was done, I quickly applied for a marketing position. I was the graphic design coordinator as a sophomore. As a junior, I was the merchandise coordinator. And then this year, I have the honor of being the chair of our entire marketing team. So the position that Sammy's in and then the two positions I've held, as well as a social media position, are now all under me. So it's really cool being their boss.
Great experience for after college, too.
Oh, yeah. It's very well-rounding. I think we were just chatting about this earlier, but life post-grad, applying to jobs, I have had a foot in every part of marketing and communications, being on the marketing team for 3 years and now being their leader. So it really is fun getting to do things like podcasts, but also today I have to edit a reel for Instagram, and also I have to edit things on Canva. So it's kind of a fun, every part of my creative brain.
Well, let's talk about the history of DanceBlue. How long has the organization been around?
It was founded in 2006. It was founded based off of Jarrett Minier's mission, who, for those of you who don't know, Jarrett Minier was the little boy who delivered joy. He was a patient at Kentucky Children's Hospital battling pediatric cancer. In his final few days, one of his wishes for his parents was to do something to help the clinic. And since 2006, DanceBlue has raised over $20 million, all going towards Kentucky Children's Hospital and the Hematology Oncology Clinic there, bettering the lives of the kids that are going through the same battles that he did. Seeing clips and hearing audio of him talking and how he just loved everything and never let what he was going through get him down is truly inspiring. Seeing all of the people work to keep his mission alive and keep his joy going is truly inspirational.
Yeah, we talk about all the time how if Jarrett could see what DanceBlue is now, it would just bring such a smile to his face and a tear to his eye. But Jarrett Minear was truly a special boy. He went to D.C. He was meeting with governors and politicians all the time. There's a picture of him with Bill Clinton and Bill Clinton's dog. He was kind of an icon. He was on Lexington News probably once a month. He was just one of those people. He's 10 years old. He just had iconic one-liners. He would just say the funniest things. And one of my favorite clips of him is, again, he's probably 10 years old. He's losing his hair, battling cancer. And he said, well, as long as I can keep it together financially and mental-wise, we're going to keep the toy cart running. So the toy cart was his program. While he was battling cancer himself, he wanted to deliver toys to other kids at Kentucky Children's Hospital. So he would accept donations, financial donations, or also toy donations, and ride around pushing a little cart and delivering toys to other kids, some battling cancer, some just in the hospital for other reasons. And Jarrett's Joy Cart still runs at Kentucky Children's Hospital today. So that's been well over 20 years in the making. But there's so many cool ways where Jarrett's story has just continued on, and it's impacted Central Kentucky and the state for years and years.
Yeah, that's amazing. What a difference one person
One little
with
boy,
a great
yep.
attitude can make.
Yep.
I want to take a quick break to tell you about Kentucky running sponsor CureX insoles, available at John's Run Walk Shop. Whether you're looking for more cushion or arch support when you're running, or just going through your day-to-day activities, CureX Run Pro insoles could be the solution you need. They offer flexible support and shock-absorbing cushioning from heel to toe, helping reduce fatigue, preventing common running injuries, and boosting performance. Dynamic arch support with a deep decoupled heel cup fits, wraps, and locks the heel in place to improve stability, reduce pressure, and provide a perfect fit. CureX Run Pro insoles feature a zero heel drop, providing the best fit in most running shoes with optimized motion for all running foot strikes. And they help manage moisture with a mesh top layer and premium foam cushioning to keep your feet dry and your running shoes fresh. They come in 3 profiles, high, medium, and low, to fit your individual arch type. Next time you're in John's Run Walk Shop, ask us to check out your arches and knee alignment so we can help you find the right pair of CureX Run Pro insoles for you. Learn more at johnsrunwalkshop.com/insoles. So walk me through what the marathon is. I can't even envision
It's
completely what 24 hours looks like. So give us a breakdown of what that is.
As a dancer, you come in and you meet with your morale group leaders. It's kind of like a camp counselor that guides you through the entire 24-hour experience. So it's one guide, one girl. You're split up into smaller groups of 10 to 20 people, and those are kind of your buddies throughout the experience. Every hour, there are different activities. We call them programming hours. And we have an entire committee. It's 30 people that spend the entire school year planning out every detail of all 24 hours of games, activities. We have concerts. We have people come and speak. We have relay races. We have
The talent show.
I mean, just so many creative things. So you are kept occupied the entire time. I think some people think we just stand up for 24 hours. And I'm like, that would be a
Or
horrible
dance
experience.
consecutively.
Right. Or dance for 24 hours. That's not it either. The dancing comes into play where every hour on the hour, the entire room of 800 plus people, even people up in the stands, thousands of people, do the line dance together. Now, this is a 12 to 15 minute long choreographed line dance that we have someone teach the crowd. So your first couple of hours there, you're learning the line dance. That's what keeps you busy from hours 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And then after that, every hour on the hour, you do the line dance with everyone in the room. So it's kind of fun. Time stops and everyone just hears the music and just goes.
They're
and
ready.
it is a beautiful thing to see on hour 24 when really the crowd is coming in and the stands are packed. Watching that level of synchronized dancing is really funny. It's also funny to see people like Sammy, fraternity men at UK, dancing their hearts out. It's pretty funny. It's pretty entertaining. So you do a mix of line dancing, you do programming hours, and then at the end, again, we have a couple of speakers and then the big reveal.
Honestly, it goes by so quick up until about 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah. Kind of hit a lull here and
You hit a
there.
little bit of a wall. But then every other hour, it'll be like a bag check or like a meal hour where you can change or eat. I'm really excited because we're getting Mad Mush and Jimmy John's this year.
Yeah, we have some great sponsors.
So that's going to help me go. You hit that wall, but then you do the line dance again, and then you just keep going.
Yes.
You push through. You might have to go to the bathroom a few times, sit down for... unofficially sit down
for like 10 seconds
for like
or something.
10 seconds. And
What happens if you sit down for more than that? Is there someone with like a
kicked
taser or
out.
something?
No.
We start hitting you with the broom.
Whenever people start coming back in the morning, because obviously not many people are there at 5, 6 a.m. Because that's sleeping hours. You really get a new burst of energy because they're there motivating you, but then also your morale group leaders, who are some of probably like the loudest people you're gonna meet and the most energetic. They're there for you every step of the way. They're encouraging you even whenever you're hitting that wall. I know that my morale leaders, Sarah Foster and Jake Cole, they were some of the nicest people I met, like from the beginning. They were so energetic and they were great. And they really helped inspire me to run for committee. So I couldn't have done it without them. Whenever you get to around the next day, midday, they'll have families start coming in more from the clinic. And they'll get up there, they'll read a poem, they'll
Sing Taylor Swift.
Yes, they'll dance.
Dancing, cartwheels.
It's awesome. Like, there's no other way to describe it. And I had gotten separated from my group last year, and I was just watching the talent show by myself, and obviously sleep deprived. I just started crying, and I wouldn't consider myself like too emotional of a person, but something about that talent show, followed by the speakers, followed by like the memoriam hour, where we honor those who are battling or have lost their lives due to cancer. It all just hits you at once. And then that reveal, and then you remember why you're so tired. Then you leave, you go home, you sleep for however long you need to. Like I mentioned, for me, it was 15 hours, and then you wake up, and then you start writing your committee application. That's how it's gone for a lot of people, I feel like. It goes by so quick. I mean, for us, like, we've spent all year working. We met in the summer, just kind of getting like a overall schedule of the year, and things can change in an instant, but you adapt as a community and you just keep persevering. And that's kind of what DanceBlue is. Joy prevailing.
What are some of the challenges that you face throughout the year in planning, and how do you get through those?
I feel like a big one would be the venue and like finding a date. Kentucky's community is so like jam-packed full of organizations who are doing these events, and obviously DanceBlue, one of like the biggest ones, and one of them being like a student-run organization. We want to make sure that we can get as many people there, as many people involved as possible. And then you got to work with so many different people. And obviously, like, I don't have to do this, thankfully. Finding a venue that is going to hold all of the people that we are expecting. Even then, we have some amazing leaders who can switch up in the drop of a hat and redirect us to greatness.
Last year is a great example of that. Last year, DanceBlue 2024 was at Rupp Arena, and that had never happened before. Historically, DanceBlue has always been held at Memorial Coliseum, but last year it was under renovation. So last year's chair team definitely had to pivot and decide, what are we going to do? And it is a huge financial decision to make. Obviously, the money that we spend putting on the marathon does take away from some of the money that we fundraise. It's our operating budget. So Rupp Arena is a little bit more expensive than Memorial Coliseum, so that was a really difficult decision to make. But like Sammy said, you have to find something that can accommodate everyone. But we are very excited to be back at Memorial Coliseum this year. It's newly renovated. It is beautiful. I have done 2 marathons at the old Memorial, and it was rough. I mean, it's hard to stay motivated with some crusty bathrooms and not as great a facility, but this place is shining and beautiful, and truly, even being in Rupp Arena last year, the environment being a little bit cleaner and more fresh and new and lots of natural daylight. Like that does keep you going in ways that you just don't appreciate until you don't have it. So I'm excited to be in the newly renovated Memorial Coliseum. I think it's really going to keep our dancers motivated. It's going to be great from like an operations standpoint, just logistics behind the scenes. It's going to be wonderful.
Aside from a new venue, anything else we can expect for 2025?
Oh, this is our 20th anniversary year. So this year is a big deal. So we do have a couple of exciting things up our sleeve. I think what people can expect most of all is the DanceBlue that they know and love. Being back in our original venue, we have such fun programming hours this year. We have everything from derby to retro recess. We have some fun activities planned for people. We have some great speakers, even a couple celebrities coming, which is exciting. We'll have Miss Kentucky there. It's just going to be all around an exciting experience. What we're really proud of on the marketing team is our merchandise store, the Boutique. So if you are coming to the marathon this year, the Boutique is going to have a bunch of new designs and some 20th anniversary collection pieces as well. So
how can listeners support DanceBlue either this month or throughout the year?
Yeah, absolutely. You can always donate. That's a huge part of what we do is fundraising the entire year. Even after the marathon is done in March, we'll take your donations in April for the following year. The money is so essential. The way that we're able to support these kids and their families best is financially, and that money goes towards cancer research, but also just improving the clinic experience. There's so many toys and resources, and in 2017, they did an entire like gut renovation of that wing of the hospital, and it's a nice facility. I'm able to be in there once a week playing with our kiddos, and the options that they have. I was in there yesterday. The fact that the little kid can just walk me up to the toy cabinet and say, I want this and this and this and this. And they look forward to going to the clinic because there are toys, there are volunteers, it's fun, it's like colorful, it's something to look forward to. That's so opposite of what a cancer experience is typically for a child. So donate. We appreciate your contributions. You can volunteer. Volunteering is a great way to be involved if you're not a student. You can help with water bottle filling and the food lines and bag check, helping people get their bags organized. You can help charge people's phones. Lots of ways to be involved. We have a 5K in the fall, which we accept any and all runners, walkers, anybody that wants to get out and participate. That's every fall semester at UK. And we do a t-shirt. This year was a bubble run. The years before that were a color run, so who knows what we'll do in the fall. But they're always pretty fun. We have people of all ages. We've got little kids. We've got grandparents of committee members that come. So definitely join us for the 5K. Donating, volunteering, and our public events. Yeah.
And also just come out and see us. March 29th through 30th, 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. We'll be there at the historic Memorial Coliseum right there on Avenue of Champions. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait, personally. This is my first marathon on committee, and unfortunately my last. But I know that everyone on our team has been working so hard to prepare for this 20th anniversary of DanceBlue. We hope you all will come out and see us, support, just come hang out for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have our crowd hours posted on social media. So those are the windows of time where the public is welcome to just come in, hang out in the stands. My parents always say that that's their favorite part is just watching, just being a bystander and getting to see college students who you would think of as broke and selfish be incredibly generous and selfless. It is really a beautiful thing to see college students from every walk of life come together for one mission, for one cause, for one day of the year. Even just taking a seat while we're standing and sitting comfortably in your chair in the sand and just watching, it is a really cool thing to be a part of. You can stop by for 10 minutes. You can stay for 2 hours. We welcome everyone.
Definitely come at the top of the hour so you can see us do the line dance.
That's pretty fun, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Sammy, Anneli, thank you so much for being on Kentucky Running, telling us all about this great cause. And
thank you.
Yeah, we'll put links in the show notes where people can learn more.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you.
DanceBlue is an incredible cause. I'm so glad Anneli and Sammy joined me to talk about all the great work they do for the kids. And again, you can support DanceBlue March 24th through 30th just by purchasing some new shoes. 10% of all full-price HOKA sales up to $1,500 are going to be donated to DanceBlue. We hope to see you soon at either John's Run Walk Shop location. I'm Matt Reno. Thanks for listening. Please rate, review, and subscribe to help others find the show and learn about amazing local organizations like DanceBlue. We'll talk again soon on Kentucky Running.